Welcome to Mastermind with Maggie. Maggie Chula is a psychic channel for the Akashic Master Teachers. Together, they are experts on spiritual healing and helping you connect to your source of light, your soul. Join in a mastermind. Resolve your problems and create goals for the future. Build action steps that empower you to create your life in partnership with your soul wisdom. Problems can be on any subject: health and well-being, relationships, spiritual, emotional, or your connection to your soul. Manifesting your goals can be simple and easy. Join in the discussion. Mastermind solutions to problems. Create goals and action steps. Then move forward to a life full of possibilities. We invite you to come with your problems and leave with a plan.
Greetings. Good morning. My name's Maggie Chula, and I'm so happy that you've taken the time to join me here today. And today, my topic is going to be the path towards health and well-being. And all of us here are here to learn to live on planet Earth and maintain a healthy balance within our mind and body. There are an infinite number of ways you can achieve this goal, and on this show, we'll discuss some of the things that cause you to feel sick and weak, and then mastermind and share ways to embrace health and well-being. Looking at health from different perspectives can help you understand where you are now on the health and well-being continuum of life. Knowing where you are now, understanding where you want to be, creates the vibration for quantum healing to take place. Now, I know you've heard a lot about health and well-being, and many of you have tried, I'm sure, numerous ways to achieve this goal. I'm here talking to you today as someone who has been able to find a formula that works for me. And I say for me, I can share this with you, and I share it with many, many people. But the true power of healing comes from you. It's your belief, it's your understanding, and your acceptance of things that are. So I have been guided to share with you a process I created many, many years ago that I called the 9 Steps to Wellness. And I didn't know this is what we were going to talk about, but I very much trust the master teachers when I am directed. They were quite clear this morning that this was the topic they wanted me to share with you. So my 9 steps really started out as a way to release weight. I've noticed that many of the people who are coming to me, that your weight does have an effect on your health. And I know we know this, but you don't want it to, right? I don't want it to for me either, but it does. And so I started to work with the master teachers many years ago to create this process. And I realized it was also the start of my working with neuro-linguistic programming. And neuro-linguistic programming is the study of your mind and how your mind is accepting words. The thing about the English language is we have the same pronunciation with different spellings for a word, and that word can mean many different things. So let's just take the word wait. I'm waiting for something good to happen. Waiting, W-A-I-T, means, you're in a holding pattern. Something's going to happen. You're not going to go forward to it just yet. You're just going to sit here and you're going to wait. Well, as you just sit here and you wait, guess what you do? You put on W-E-I-G-H-T. That's right, pounds. Another way to say it, pounds, weight. We get bigger, right? It's an epidemic now, this waiting for something better, waiting for that person to come along, waiting for that pill. In my case, I remember waiting Tell me what the magic pill is. What's the magic formula? I'll follow it. I swear I will, because I want to get better. And I found wherever I went, doors were shutting. By the time I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease, I was too sick for surgery. How's that? I went to the doctor. They finally, after years, found that core issue, and I wasn't going to survive. So I took that state of dis-ease, which was 27 years ago, and said, hang on, I'm not going to die. This isn't the end of my life. I will find another way. And I did. And that other way isn't just one or two things. That's the whole point. It's not going to be one or two things for you too. It's changing your entire mind structure. How do you interact with the world? Who are you here today? And starting to say, you bully, you outside influence, you person who's trying to bring me down, you're not going to do it. Because this is my life and I'm going to own it. I'm going to take it on for myself. This is what we're talking about today. The path towards health and well-being. And it's a path. It is a path. And it will be full of boulders sometimes. Sometimes it'll just be little pebbles. But it has to do with you truly learning who you are. And it all boils down to what is happening on the planet. We're waking up. Now, aren't you kind of sick sometimes of these words? We're waking up. What are you talking about? I wake up every morning. But we're talking about waking up to the fact, hang on, we've been told for centuries that we are all one. None of our actions seem to prove that. But if you think about it, we are all one. We're waiting to become one again. We want that feeling of divine presence to flow through our bodies. We want that divine health in our lives. We want the people around us to just wake up and stop being mentally ill and to see our point of view. All of those things are outside forces. They're outside of us. I can't control what you think about me. I can't. And I no longer take a lot of time and think about it. I won't say I don't take any time, because I'm a human being. And I'm a woman and I'm an emotional being. And so, yeah, I pay attention. Not every day, not 24/7, but sometimes. And those little dings I feel from people, oh, they don't understand me. Oh, I don't think they're trusting this. Those little things, I take them in because I understand myself as an energy. I understand that. But I have processes to go, yes, that's someone else's thought, that's someone else's opinion. Do I believe that? Yes. Okay. No. Well, then I'm going to let it go. And you're probably sick of that too. Let it go, as if it's that easy. Why would there be hundreds of programs written if it was easy? Well, it gets back to being an individual. So that's why I called it the path towards health and well-being. Because there won't be just one, but the one that I'm about to share with you, these 9 steps, will help you take control of your life and start to put your steps together. So for some of us, it is going to be as easy as breathing, which is one of the things I really made a change with in my life. I understood what it meant to breathe in the breath of life. I understood what it meant to connect to the center of my soul. I started to long for that vibration I feel when I call on the master teachers. The vibrations I felt when I connected up to something greater than me, something higher in a vibrational alignment than just my earthly thoughts. Those pieces. So what I found in the work that I did that helped me restore divine health to my body and wellness to my life, those are the things I'm going to share with you. And there's 9 steps, as I said. But these steps don't go in a sequence, right? We always want them to. I did. Step 1 goes to step 2, which leads to step 3, and then you go to 4. Well, that's kind of true, but it's more like grief. There are, I don't even know how many steps anymore to grief, but you go in and out of them. And that's what you do with life. There are days I'm so on fire, everything I do is just bing, 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 it just works. And there are days where it feels like I'm really pushing myself to go back up and connect with the source of my own light, my soul. And that's where having more than one step or having more than one process helps you. So you can say, today I need this one more. Today this piece is going to help me. This is the one I'm going to choose. But that's the big, big difference here between maybe you and someone else. It's choice. It's your choice. And making one. And the number one thing that causes people the most disease and distress is indecision. You don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. I only have this one life. How could I be wrong? But indecision will erode your self-confidence greater than and faster than anything else. So we're going to talk about this. What are these 9 steps that I have for releasing the desire to wait, releasing the desire for some outside force to come and to help you, and starting to take ownership today and be your own motivator. Be the one who lights the fire under you so that you are able to continue down this path to wellness. So I want you to come back as we go through the 9-step process. It is a formula, and we're going to go through it right after these commercials. I'll talk to you soon.
Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Spiritual, metaphysical, green living, psychic, alternative healing, life coaching. Do any of these or similar terms apply to your business or cause? If so, you are in a niche market with a very specific audience. Conscious Gate PR is the world's leading conscious public relations agency. With a global reach of over 4 million and growing, we offer comprehensive media campaigns to our targeted market. Learn more at ConsciousGatePR.com. Conscious marketing for conscious minds.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me the Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
Are you stuck? Have you tried over and over to stop an addiction, let go of self-sabotage? Do you have anxiety attacks or anger issues? Do you want to stop? Let go, breathe. I can help. I have a 9-step spiritual healing path program that will lead you towards attaining balance and well-being in your life, body, and mind. Contact me. Go to MaggieChula.com and learn more. I'm here when you are ready.
Want to know some fun facts about colonoscopies? Colon cancer is 90% preventable. A colonoscopy can detect and prevent colon cancer in one fell swoop. But here's a not-so-fun fact. Lots of people are so uncomfortable even talking about a colonoscopy that they never get one. If you're 50 or 45 for African Americans, get screened now. Maybe even earlier if you have a family history. To schedule a screening today, visit StopColonCancerNow.com.
Welcome back. I'm so glad you came back for this show, because today I know I need the master teachers here with me to help me share this information. Now, with their help, I created a 9-step spiritual healing path program, but I also had called it Weight Release. Let's release this desire to wait for others. Let's release this need for someone else to come and to be our savior. Okay? Let's dive into this and say, I am the creator of my life, and I can do this. I can create health and well-being for my life, my body, and my mind. So that's what this 9-step process does. It's a formula to help you learn how your mind, your thoughts, and your beliefs are shaping your physical body and your life choices. And while they're listed as 9 separate steps, I mentioned that they're very flexible in nature, and we cycle through them as we go through each day. Sometimes you're going to find yourself working with one step, and some thought or action will be triggered for the new step to emerge. And the sooner you can consciously begin to identify the step you're in and the thoughts and emotions you're feeling, the better you'll be able to support your mind, your body, and your life by choosing to create new thoughts, feelings, and habits. Because I honestly believe the primary power each of us awakens as we begin to grow in our ability to be more consciously aware of our thoughts, feelings, and triggers is the power of choice. Each and every day, we make thousands of choices and decisions. Most are made unconsciously using old habits and programs. And as we wake up to the power of our choices, we can use our awareness to stop the internal chatter of negative feedback and out-of-date programs and replace them with life-affirming actions, thoughts, and feelings. So these 9 steps are: 1, realize your today. Using your real eyes, your today. So in that step, you start to look and say, really, where am I? What's happening today? Because as you go along and you have a choice, you've made your plans, you're going to be, do, have this thing in your life, then you start to do things automatically, right? First, you're really charged up, and I'm going to make changes, whether that change is drinking more water every day, eating better foods, having healthier thoughts, whatever it is. You start off on the path and you're motivated. You're going to do it. And then it starts to become a habit. Now, this is a good thing. Habits are good things. But they're good things when you can identify it's a habit you want, right? It's not a habit you have from long ago. So that's why it's important to look, where are you today? Are you ready to make a change, and why? Why is now a good time for this change, right? What is it about today that I need to do? So it is important, in order to establish your health, to know where you are now, because that's that quantum theory, right? If you know where you are now, and you visualize, you absolutely understand where you're going, you can release and let go, and that will happen because you've shared that with your mind. Now, there's a lot of steps to make that happen, and that's what we're going through. So understanding where you are now, that's the number one most important thing. What are you feeling? Why is right now the right time for you? You've got to establish that. What makes this need for a change so important today? Because if you don't have a good reason for it, something that really fuels you and makes you feel passion for it, really makes you go, yes, I want that. Like when the doctor said to me, you have to have this surgery, but you're too sick for it. Well, I knew what I wanted. Number 1, I didn't want the surgery. And number 2, gosh, I didn't want to be sick anymore. If this was their actual answer to me, well, then I was going to have to find another way. So I knew where I was. Too sick for surgery. Sick, couldn't get out of bed, couldn't do anything for myself at all. and I knew where I wanted to be. I had young children. I was going to be their mother. I had a job that I loved. I wanted to go back to it. I knew these things to be true, and I had to find a way to do that. So you make this feeling, you understand why it's time to make this lifestyle change. What is it? What's the trigger that's going off inside you that's saying, I got to change my life now? And some of us, it could just be sanity. You know what? I just have these crazy feelings and these crazy emotions, and I can't live with this any longer. So you've got your why. You know why. You know why now, and you've established that part. And then you start to look at what's going on right now. What's going on in my life that might be supporting this? What am I doing that's supporting this? If it's something about all the noise that comes up, all the negativity and the sadness that comes up over the news, well, are you watching the news every day? That's something to pay attention to. And if you're watching it, why are you doing that? It's important for you to know what's going on. I mean, you're the only one who can determine this, right? So what I learned was I had been following all kinds of other people who were telling me how to get better, including the doctors. So I was taking in almost too much. I was doing one thing, but I might have been undoing it in another way. And that's where that indecision thing comes in. I didn't want to be wrong, right? This was so important. But all this stuff I had been doing, up until the moment they said, hey, you're not even going to survive. Up until that moment, I thought I was doing everything possible, right? I was breathing. I even went to a panchakarma. I followed all kinds of different things, but I was doing all of them at once, including working with the doctors. So it just turns out that that's like too many pies. You wouldn't want 4 surgeons working on you at the same time, right? Or even 2. You got to have one. You got to have just that one. Who is the person? What part of you is the leader? What's the one that's setting the goal? That's why it's number 1. Where are you now? Why are you doing this? What else do you have to do? And then start to review your options. So you figure out where you are now. I know where I am now. And you start to see what are the options out there. Well, if it's your health, it could be you want to find an alternative way of doing this. So maybe you do go for massages. And massages can be worked in very well with meditating, right? But what if you go for a massage and then you also decide that you need a lot of strength training at the same time? So you're strength training, but if you're like me and you start something new, maybe you've done too much in the beginning. So your muscles actually start to feel weaker. Then you go for your massage, they make you feel better, you go back, you lift your weights, and you don't feel good again. It's time to start to look at all the little pieces in your life, all the pieces that make up your daily life, and what are you doing? Or it might be you're taking this vitamin and this herb, and then I'm going to go with that oil and this medicine, right? So it's bombarding your system. Too many things. Because honestly, in the end, simple is best. Simple is best. And it's difficult to write simply about something that's this complicated. But simple is best. So I always go back for the number 1 thing to do to attain health is breathe. But I breathe in the breath of life. So I add visions. I have a very vivid imagination. Pictures come to me easily, and I can breathe. I can see that one cell and breathe breath of life into it and see it light up. So that was my 1. What's my number 1 thing I'm going to do? I'm going to do it every day. Well, I have to breathe. So that became my number one. I'm going to breathe. But when I breathe, I'm going to active breathe. I'm going to mindful breathe. I'm going to be aware. And if you do that often enough, in the beginning, I mean it several times a day, not just in the morning, but every day, and you see yourself, there's something goes on TV, you start to get upset, you breathe, you go back. What's your number one? What's that number one thing? And for some people, it's take a sip of water. Go take a sip of water. And that's fine. All these things can work. Or someone else's might be, when I feel this way, I'm going to just get up, I'm just going to shake my head, and it's going to be my way to tell my body, all right, time out, do over, start again. And don't be afraid to do that several times. It might be necessary because you've got these old patterns and it keeps you stuck. So you go and you're ready to start the day, you know what's happened, and you're identifying what are some of the things you've done that might have contributed to it, okay? So we've just gotten to step one. That's realizing you're today. This could take me more than 1 hour, but I'm going to get through at least the steps during this hour to let you know what we're talking about, to let you know what these steps are. But I want you to know it is important for you to start to see health and well-being as a priority, as everything you do in your day contributes to your health and well-being or pulls you away from it. And that's where it comes to choice. Yes, we do have things that we are committed to, things that we're going to get done. That doesn't mean we can't also be healthy. It just means we need to use those healthy habits we're starting to establish to continue to help us so we can meet our goals, push forward, and also have health and well-being. They are not mutually exclusive. All right. Well, I have 8 more steps, so I promise I'll go through them. So you come on back after the break, and we'll continue.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
There is no death, only a change of worlds. Chief, Seattle. Deborah Livingston is an award-winning intuitive psychic medium whose international services include mediumship, spiritual assessment, animal communication, and spiritual mentoring. She is a published author and a trained shaman. Deborah provides evidential messages from spirit and departed loved ones. Learn more at deblivemedium.com. That's DEBLIV medium.com.
Hi everyone, this is Shay Parker, the host of Best of the Best, which airs live right here on IOM Radio every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm super excited to bring you expert guest hosts, spiritual discussions, free psychic readings, and so much more. I can promise that you will not want to miss this one-of-a-kind, fun, yet touching, down-to-earth show. Join us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific on OTR-FM. This is Shay Parker, and I can't wait to see you there.
Do you want to connect to your magical child, merge your passions and creativity, unlock your imagination, and play with the angels? Come learn the Akashic Vibration process with me, Maggie Chula, and the Master Teachers of the Akasha. Together we will mastermind, exploring questions, issues, blocks, creating possibilities, then ground your creations into your current timeline. Contact me. Go to maggiechula.com and learn more. Create new possibilities today.
What's up? This is Brad
and Mike from Lincoln Park
for Lifebeat, the music industry fights AIDS.
Listen up, times are tough and you get a lot of things thrown your way. If you're being pressured to have sex and you're not ready, then say no. If you're having sex, be smart and use protection. Respect yourself and protect yourself.
For more information, call the National AIDS Hotline at 1-800-342-AIDS or log on to www.lifebeat.org.
Well, welcome back to Mastermind with Maggie. And today we are talking about the path towards health and well-being. And as I had stated, I had created a 9-step process. It really came for me. I needed it because there was a point over 27 years ago, I almost died from an illness. And I needed to find a way out because the doctors didn't have any answers for me. They wanted me to go home, rest, get better, get all my blood levels up, get all these different numbers up, and be well enough to survive their surgery. Well, honestly, all I had was, I have to get better. That's what I heard. Whatever it is they want to do, I'm not in for it. I couldn't see myself letting somebody cut me open. That's me. That was my belief. I didn't want to do it. I'd watched my grandmother go through chemotherapy and die the day after she finished. And that really, really stuck with me. It's like she not only had the worst last couple of months of her life through this process, but then in the end she died. So that wasn't going to be me. I wasn't going to let that happen. And I am very proud to say I didn't. So these 9 steps that I created for myself that I use with a lot of different people, I'm just going to give you the 9 steps because I didn't realize, that's right, this hour goes so fast. Okay, so the one is to realize your today. Where are you now? That's very, very important. And I think that as the weeks go on, clearly we are going to come back to this because something was activated last week, and several of the master teachers are like, let's go back to healing, let's go back to mental health. So that's what we're doing. Number 2 is you got to review your successes. I cannot tell you how important that is. So many of us do things well and we help people and it's just like, oh, ho, hum. But what about this? What about this? It's like, no, wait. It's really important to review your successes. I mean, for me, one was, okay, this week I'm not as nauseous. I can really tell that my mind feels better. I'm not as dizzy. So, there's a lot of things here with the double negative. I'm not, But the real thing was, I had to do that. You have to take the little baby steps. If that's what you have for your success, you need to do that. You need to do that. And maybe it is you are going through chemotherapy, but you didn't get as sick, or you prayed while you were doing it and you felt the angels with you. Whatever your success is, just start to own some of them. Let yourself know, that's right, I have done that. That's right, I was able to do that. That's very important. 3, rethink your life directions. That's where we get on a path, we set our life goals. I'm going to be this when I grow up. And then you get a job and you get into the flow and you start to do what everyone wants for you. And you never really go back and look and say, whoa, what was my goal? What was my reason for doing this show? You've got to keep your mind on that path. What's my life direction? Is this leading me towards it? Or is this something it's noise? It's something that really is taking me away from what makes my heart sing, what makes me happy. And there will be things in your life that take you in a different direction. By having a child, your child is sick, then you're going in a direction you didn't mean to go in. But now that you're in that direction, what are some of the things you can let go of from where you thought you were going? Because life will throw things at you. And that's really up to you. Are you going to take that next step that was just thrown at you? And then how are you going to adjust your life so this becomes part of your new way of building wealth and well-being and maintaining sanity in your life? 4, you need to rescript your thoughts. It will come up. You're going to find beliefs that show up that say, oh, I'm not good enough for this. I'm not good enough for this. Well, why? Why aren't you good enough for that? What happened? And you might realize, I was in a speech class when I was in high school, and I got up and my teacher said, you are the worst speaker ever. This isn't something you can do. How many times have we read about a successful person who had to overcome something an expert like a teacher had said to them? just as many times as we hear about that really wonderful teacher who inspired and encouraged me. And I have begun to think that's part of life. These dings, these little boulders, the things that knock you down. But you got to get back up. You got to get back up. This isn't a video game. This isn't where, like, I get to kill you, the game's over, and we're going to start all over again. No, I'm not talking like that. But I am saying you can take a moment, take a breath, think about what's happening, and then go, I don't want to think like that anymore. I want to know I'm a being of light, and only light's going to come to me. So you need to sometimes re-script those thoughts, that unconscious stuff running through your head. Release your fears. That's a big one. Because there's always fear. There's fear all over the place. There's fear for your child. There's fear for your spouse. There's fear for the country. There's fear for the earth. There's fear for, you name it, there are fears. Yes. But let me just assure you that as an energetic being, which you are, you and I, we're connected through the vibration of the Akasha, the vibration of the source of all that is. We are connected. When you are in great fear, that sends out a ripple effect. That's almost a ding to the vibration in the universe. But instead, if you can learn to surrender and let go, release your fears and know, okay, I'm just going to let that fear go right now, because when I need it, I know it'll be there. If I need to find fear, I know where it is. I'll be able to pull it back. But right now, I'm just going to release that, and I'm going to know I am a part of the universe. No less than the trees and the stars, I have a right to be here. And I can make a difference to the life of the people around me, to the world, to my own life. Now I'm starting to put positive energy out there. Now I'm starting to bring and lift up the world with me and with my message and with my feeling. That's important too, because we're all important and we're all in this together. And sometimes you're going to find number 6, reboot your life. Yeah, reboot is not the same as restart. In this world of computers, right? You can keep restarting. I had this one issue with Microsoft Word. I kept restarting at some place, I don't know, but it wasn't working for me. It was not working. Had these hidden history files. Isn't that funny? A hidden history file? Does that sound like a subconscious to you? Well, in this case, it actually did, and it took quite a bit of time to finally work with someone else and to figure this out and to just erase all history, but also to go into these hidden places that you're not normally able to get to, and, erase those too. So this was a complete and total reboot, starting all over again. And you can do that. Sometimes we have to, and just go, this life isn't working for me. And I don't mean pick up a gun and shoot yourself or take some pills. No, I mean, this life isn't working for me. That's where you go back to the, where's your today? What kind of successes are you having? What's your life direction? Maybe you need a total reboot. A reboot. That's the one that goes, I don't want to be an engineer. I've gone through this and it's boring. I don't want to do this. There's something else I could do. Okay, you're not starting over really, but you are saying, all those dreams gone. I'm going to start something new. Now, sometimes that happens to you. Those true life tsunamis that show up and boom, you're rebooting. It is very easy to sink down into the depths of fear and depression and to just want to cry. And by all means, take a moment to cry, or 2 moments, or 5 days, whatever it is. But know that there's a plan. Understand there's a greater purpose. And even in this, there is light, there is love, there is understanding. The 7th is recharge your motivation. Recharge your motivation. Take a class that you really want to take, not one that you have to take, not something that's, a part of your core curriculum or something that you teach or anything like that. Do something to recharge you. Something like taking a break and going, laying out in the sun and feeling the sun come down on you and, I feel so good. But recharging your motivation, that's very deep. There's a lot of things you can do there, right? 8, renew your spirit. Renew your spirit. Yeah, that's a big one. Do you ever feel you're a part of your spirit? Do you know about your chakra centers and your energy centers? Are you in touch with what they call the universal energy? You need to renew, recharge. And 9, rededicate your relationship to your higher self, to your soul wisdom. Because my work is about helping you know you are a part of the divine. Absolutely, completely. We are all connected through that vibration. But then you're separate also. And in that separate, wonderful uniqueness, you are still a part of the divine. You still have the ability to create from the greatest power that exists in the universe. And so it's understanding, accepting, and reactivating that connection. And there are many ways to do that too. So those are my 9 steps. And within each step, I think you can see there would be other steps. And there are. But in the end, it's simple and it comes down to you. To you, to your choice. You are not a victim. How are you feeling like a victim? And where can you take ownership and instead switch it out and become victorious? These are ways to help you towards your path, towards health and well-being. So we're going to wrap this up when we come back. And I hope you do. To learn these 9 steps.
Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill, while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
Grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine and tune in for Inspired Conversations with publisher Linda Joy on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Linda creates sacred space for leading female luminaries, empowering authors, heart-centered female entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers. A soulful venue where guests openly share the fears and obstacles they've overcome, wisdom and lessons learned, and the personal journey that led them to the transformational work they do in the world. Inspired Conversations to empower you on your path to authentic, soulful living.
Have you ever wondered, what is the purpose of life? How can I do more, have more, be more? Do you want to talk to your angels, your higher wisdom? Have you tried? But here you are. I invite you to come take a class in the Akashic Vibration process. Learn the language of your soul. Enhance your soul connection. Expand your soul vibration. Contact me. Go to MaggieChula.com and learn more. Let me help you interpret the language of your soul.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change, called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Mastermind with Maggie. And I have to say, it's always surprising to me how fast this hour goes. So there's just a couple more things that I wanted to talk about on the subject of the path towards health and well-being. I wanted to explain a little bit of the 9 steps that I had used to get to my path of well-being. And I realized that alone is hours to discuss. But along with that, I also came up with working with my angels and my angelic council of light. Now, I have done that all my life, but when I did get very sick, I was in denial. I was in denial that I was able to do that because I had been told I was psychotic, and clearly those were, voices in my head. But voices back then weren't as respected as they are now. And I have gone through a lot of work in my life to find out, no, those voices really do have their own voices. And what I had done for myself and for others is I created a book called Open the Doorway to Your Soul. And that book is full of channeled messages from these voices that are in my head. And they are like Jesus, Mother Mary, Archangel Raphael, Kuthomi, Buddha, Saint Germain, Lord Melchizedek. There are others. And you can find that on my website, MaggieChula.com. It's under, you'll find it. It's under Open the Doorway to Your Soul. But there's also a link within that page that will lead you to those original podcasts. And those podcasts are where you can hear the voice and the inflection. That's the wrong word. The voice and the way that they say the words and the way that they talk, it is different for all these different beings. And so that's also a resource for you. But this 9 step that I was talking about, really the number one step, the number one thing is, who are you? You're the one who's got to answer that. You've got to answer, who am I? What do I stand for? And when you do that, you know that you're like a project. You are a project for your soul. So that's, yes, definitely a point in time that you're taking. But as the world goes, as the day goes, things change. So you want to make sure that you keep coming back every day and going, this is who I am. It's very important for you to do that. There are many, many ways to the path to health and well-being. The one that I chose is it works with guided visualizations. I work with meditation and channeling the wisdom of my soul. Channeling your sacred wisdom is all about the Akashic vibration. And the Akashic vibration is a course that I have created with the master teachers. We have that website, akashicvibration.com, and it is actually created to help you know you are in connection with the source of all that is, to help you feel the vibration of the source, to feel the vibrations that are around you. So you can go look that up too. But I want to make sure and let you know that here are some just some like words for health destroyers: stress, deadlines, headlines, worry. You worry about your children, worry about your well-being, you worry about the world, anger, fear. But as I said, as I shared, I found that the number one destroyer is indecision. It's that I'm just going to go with the tide, because the tide doesn't really always know where it's going. We're not really talking about being in the ocean. In the ocean, yeah, it probably does. But in the tide of mankind and of human consciousness, it can be quite a free-for-all. So you want to pin down, who are you? What are you doing? What do you want in your life? Those are very important things to help you with your own health. Some health enhancers: a clean diet, free of chemicals, going to eat more organic foods. Some people are really very sensitive to chemicals they don't even know are in their food. But just changing things out, like no pop of any kind, whether it's diet or full sugared, whatever it is, just not having pop in your diet has helped many people release symptoms like MS, symptoms of pains in their joints because of the chemicals that are found in those drinks. Water, drinking water. It's the number one free thing. Breathing, that's number one. Water is number two. Or put them together. Prayer. Prayer doesn't cost you anything. And it helps. It helps you to pray for yourself. It helps you to pray for others. It helps others when you pray for them. So use prayer. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be, dear God, help me. Help me today release this pain. That's simple. Or Archangel Raphael, please take this pain away and allow me to flow in the river of well-being. But you have to know what that feels like. What does that mean in your head, well-being? What are the things that will happen to you when you have it? How can you walk more freely? Are you going to be able to exercise and get out there and play with your children and not be winded? Start to put some boundaries around what that means. That will help you. Take timeouts. Take breaks. I know people used to smoke so they could take smoke breaks. And now, of course, smoking is not as accepted, and it wasn't that good for you. But the breaks were. Don't throw out the breaks. Get up, go to the bathroom, go walk and get some water. Just get up and stand. Do some touchings of the toes. That will help you. And then exercise. That's the other good thing. Go for a walk. Go outside. Go play with your child for 5-10 minutes and let yourself just be with them. Those things will help you. I wanted to remind you two things. Number one, you are a child of God. You are. You are a divine being of light. You have the ability to be in alignment with the highest and best that's right for you. And you will find many free resources on my website, MaggieChula.com, that can help you if you need more clarity. You can also schedule a session. I work with many people, and it is my number one goal in life to help reestablish well-being and health to as many people as I can. Share with them my methods and help them find theirs. So next week, though, we're going to talk about, have you made the choice to be positive? Because some days are tougher than others. And when it comes to accepting the world, is it okay? People are okay. The future isn't too screwed up. Yes, it can be very hard to create and maintain a positive attitude in life. But come and join me. Let's talk about some of the things that bug you, some of the things that can disempower you, and some of the ways you can vent and let it all out. And then let's take a moment, bring those thoughts up, and create ways to feel positive again, ways to move forward, knowing you're okay. The world's going to be okay. Embracing your future with hope and enthusiasm will allow that well-being to be a part of your daily life. So the number one thing I want to leave you with is well-being is your birthright. Establish who you are. Who am I? What do I want my life to contain? What do I want to be remembered for? That does help you, because if you go and you think, well, this is what I want to contribute to the world, and if it's something that tickles your heart, something that rises and stirs a passion up inside you, follow that. Ask your higher wisdom for help. But honestly, pray and ask the angels. Pray and ask God. And remember, God is the Akashic vibration, the vibration of the source of all that is, because you are an energy being. You are a vibration, and you are connected to that Akashic vibration. You are connected to that wisdom. You have the right, the divine right, to peace, well-being, and happiness. And your peace, well-being, and happiness do not depend on anyone else. Indeed, you need to find it within yourself, and then you can share it with others. You can receive it from others. And so many of you out there, open yourselves up to the possibility and the potential for love. Love is all around. There are so many people that I work with who are looking for someone, both men and women. And we all seem to think the good ones are gone. No, they're not. There are so many good ones out there. You can find someone too. But find that within your heart. Who are you? What do you want for your life? What does well-being mean to you? If it's playing with your children, is it having the energy to work 20 extra hours a week? Some of you it is. That's great. That's your what's in it for you. Keep that in your mind. Pick something that you're going to work with to help you establish that well-being, and then give it a chance. Give it a chance. Maybe go 3 months with this process. And at the end of those 3 months, that will be your new way, your new habits, your unconscious way. So thank you for listening. I hope you do come back. And trust me, you are a being of light, connected to the source of all that is, and you have a right to divine health. Till next week, peace, love, and happiness. Bye-bye.